You were perfectly formed for the season.
The Sean Prue Show on Canada Talk, Sirius XM 167.
So glad you're with us. Welcome back, Thought Revolution Radio, all this hour. And it's not too late in the year yet to offer you this type of show that we're offering you today, which is one about reinvention. Welcome to the show. Back to the reinvention theme. My friend JP Michaels, haven't seen you in a long time.
Hey, Sean, how are you?
But I have seen you lately.
You have?
I have seen you lately. I saw you on Fashion Santa's streetcar trolley that he
sleigh. Yeah,
sleigh.
That's cute.
But mostly I've seen you in on Instagram.
Yes.
And speaking of reinvention, that's why you're here.
I am.
I was just saying we've got a lovely young intern in the studio with us now, and I was telling him that I've known you for a long time, and we go back 20 years.
Yeah, about the time
years?
where you were reinventing yourself.
I was reinventing myself too, which is why I'm so happy that you're here.
Yes. Full circle.
I was leaving finance and was just starting to do my own thing, and you and I met, and you had been in the Phantom of the Opera.
Correct.
And when you took me to see it.
I did.
And we got to know each other from there, but you had a totally different look. So I'm going to describe your look. No, wait. You describe your look.
Today, you mean?
Yep. So,
eclectic.
Yep.
Fashion forward.
Yep.
My own.
Yep.
I do patronize friends' boutiques.
Yes.
Colorful.
Yes. Confident.
Confident.
Yes.
Edgy.
Expressive.
Expressive. And comfortable.
And I would say that I would say this, and I don't mean to pigeonhole it, but I want to just, if Iris Apple had a brother, you've heard this already.
I get stopped a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, I've reached out to her, but you know she's got so many people around her.
She's doing her thing.
But someday it'll happen.
But this is new to my eyes, and I want to just paint a picture of where you were before this began. Your father died. Your elderly mother unraveled as a response to that. You had public betrayals of friends, betrothed, an attempted suicide of your betrothed, the exhaustion of financial health, a diagnosis of Hep C. You had a facial infection brought on by a minor. You think you got problems, listener? You think you got problems? You saw the slow and steady decline of your mother, and then you had a whole whack of stuff go on with
the undermining of a professional.
Yeah,
nature.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yes.
So
and that's all
you felt demoralized.
Demoralized, yes, and that was within a period of about 7 months.
Gosh, I've just come through a period of difficulty that challenged my mental health a lot, and I'm pleased and proud to say that I'm back on my game. But it was a weird few months. It's tough.
It is tough.
And I'm looking at this list, and it's not mine was just something really unexpected that turned my life inside out. And this is 9,000 unexpected things that turned your life inside out.
Well, I think, as I mentioned in the notes that I gave you, Churchill says it's the black dog. He describes it as the black dog, his depression.
Yes.
But I describe mine as more like a litter of black dog pups.
Yes.
So it wasn't any one thing, but it was a series of things.
A bunch of things. And then it festers, and then it gets bigger, doesn't it? Like,
well, you don't.
One thing happens, and then another thing happens, and then it's all awful.
Well, with me, it does fester, but with me, it was, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, and I just said to my best friend of 35 years last night on the phone. I said, "How did I ever live through all that nonsense?"
Mm-hmm. How did you?
Well, because I think, basically, I got it. I can handle this. I've got this. I was focused.
Aren't you a Scorpio?
Yes. Because I had one thing that was constant, and that was my profession as a teacher.
Yes.
When that was taken away from me, then that's when I fell apart.
And so how? And for the listener, I wanted to paint this picture because it's a couple things. If you're so down and out as my friend JP was, down and out is my words, not necessarily the way he'd put it, But to me, that sounds pretty. If you're burdened in a way like this, you can still emerge a peacock if that's the way you choose to invent yourself and reinvent yourself. I'm interested to hear how that came of this. But I guess my intention with this segment is just to remind everybody, as a T-shirt I've got that I got in Paris says, it's never too late.
Never.
And when you're going through all that crap, there's obviously a reason. And we forget that there's obviously a reason. This stuff is, I kept saying to myself when I was going through my crap, Sean, this is happening for you, not to you.
That's a very
it's happening
good,
for
that's
you.
Excellent.
You know who told me that?
It's perspective.
Melissa Etheridge. We've had her on the show a number of times, and she said the last time, and I've never forgotten that, because that's the truth, and it has been, and I can see it now, and I knew it then. Did you know that was happening?
Well, for
you?
me, it was a question of, and I recall saying this to a number of people, it's my time to be weak. I have been strong all this time, and every time I kept saying, I've got it, I was being strong. And then when it all fell apart, I thought, okay, so this is my time to be weak. And I gave myself permission to be weak. And I actually embraced it, my weakness, because I knew there was a reason for it.
You know, you can probably see 2 studios over. Arlene Bynon is probably still in studio, and at the SiriusXM Christmas party, we hadn't talked in a long time, and we've done some work together. And she asked how I was, and I thought, I'm not gonna couch it because you're a good friend. And so I told her a bit of what was going on. She goes, "Oh, come sit down." And we sat down together, and she gave me a story from her career, and it included Joan Rivers, which makes it fun. But the point was that don't be proud. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna listen to this advice. Don't be proud. I don't know what that means, but don't be proud. And for me, what that meant over the Christmas holidays that ensued was tell your friends and let your friends be friends. Because I'm like you.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's all fabulous. I got it. Nothing I can't handle. And this was really hurting me and deteriorating me for a while. And I was like, I need to lean on people, as you said.
Yes, absolutely. The other thing that got me through was forgiveness is the giving up of hope for a better past.
Right.
So it's just the past is past, and I'm going to speak about that right now, about the
Go for
present. How to. Well, first of all, I'm going to define reinvention from my perspective. Reinvention of self is a duty. So the moment you identify it as a duty, and I'm going to paraphrase from your bio, from the Huffington Post, creating success by your own design, so that you're taking control. And the goal of reinvention is to create a strong and mindful opinion of yourself, so that you don't accidentally believe what others say about you.
God. Thank you you're so thoughtful. Can you just say that one more time?
The goal of reinvention
Yeah.
is to create a strong and mindful opinion of yourself.
So that you don't believe
accidentally
yes,
believe what others say.
Others are saying, we have the buy-in on what others think.
So if necessity is the mother of invention, as often quoted, then I believe that survival is the father of reinvention.
Ooh. Child, if you're not writing this down, listening right now, you're crazy. You're crazy. I want you to know, if you are loving what you're hearing, you can hear it again on the SiriusXM app. Just download that and listen at your leisure. Okay, so we're going into the reinvention state now.
Right.
And I know that it wasn't just superficial. What I see is the surface, which is an expression of how you must feel inside now.
Well, the other day I stopped in at a shop that I often frequent, and I knew the mother of the shop owner was going to be there. And I do know that she has suffered over many years of depression. And I do know that she's had an epiphany of sorts in her life through the grapevine. And she said to me, "You make me happy." I said, "Why?" She said, "Not only because of the way you're dressing, but," she said, "you make me happy because you're owning what you've been through." And I said, "Wow, yeah, I guess I am." Yeah. I'm. How this came about is I'm writing my memoirs on the encouragement of friends and relatives, because I have lived a very incredible life and continued to do so. But the working title is Died and Gone to Fashion. Surviving a period of unwellness, one outfit at a time. Never lose your sense of humor. Never lose your sense of humor. If you can laugh at yourself, somehow it makes it a little bit better. And so I think that there's the idea of duty. It's a duty, no different than the duty of these young soldiers who marched off to World War I. So once you identify it as a duty, reinvention becomes what I like to call the indisputable, unconditional, mindful love in your life. And so it requires you to make a lot of decisions. And in the mindful process of reinvention, you're presented with a lot of questions as to whether or not these are sound. This self-doubt.
Yes.
So you always have to keep close this indisputable love, and that is that your commitment to your reinvention process is a duty to yourself. And the strategy I use here is the strategy of gratitude. The words thank you, I believe, are the two most disarming words in the English language. If you can say thank you signals the present moment by way of you allowing yourself to take a closer inspection of what you're thankful for.
And do you know that science can measure the vibration of these thoughts? And when you were saying thank you or in a moment of appreciation or gratitude, you were as close to the feeling of love as you can get. The next feeling is love. The next highest read, and the highest read of them all, is love. So when you're in that zone, you are in your natural state, because we're here to love.
And to help me, I carry my thank you stone.
Yes, he's just pulled that out.
Right. Always. I have one for you, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love a present. That's right up my alley. Thank you.
So thank you allows for a closer inspection, an embracing of it, and ideally a control, so that if it's something that you believe is not promoting your reinvention, you can let it go. But you can't let it go unless you own it first.
Yes.
And that harkens back to what this lady said to me yesterday, or on Sunday. She said, you make me happy because you seem to be owning it.
Yes. I will give you full credit for that, because, this isn't Paris, right, where you can get away with a lot of stuff. You really own it. I mean, we are in a very modern, progressive city with a lot of colorful people, but not enough colorful people.
Well, you'd be amazed, how many people say, where are you from?
Yes, you're not from here.
And because I do speak French.
Yes.
And my accent is what we identify as a mid-Atlantic accent because of my theater background. Many people say, where are you from? Oh, I just live over. Really?
We're running low on time, so I've already gotten the middle finger from, as I call it, from our producer.
Well, I have one last thing to say.
Yes, please.
On the inside of my door is an Araucanian Indian compliment which says, I shall come again, for I like myself when I am with you. Reinvention is the process of liking yourself again. That's all. And
I love this.
And so again, I repeat, the goal of reinvention is to create a strong and mindful opinion of yourself so that you don't accidentally believe what others say to you. And the reminder is your thank you stone.
And love yourself all over again.
And love yourself all over.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And I thank you for your open-hearted
sharing. I don't have all
sharing.
the answers. I just have the answers that have worked for me.
Yes, and we're the beneficiary of them, because you look fabulous, darling.
Thank you.
We're taking you down under when we come back from break.